If you can believe this, there's actually some important sets that are already out there that you've had some experience with. So be careful because some of these have some little nuances that are very, very important. It's little getches that they might have, so be careful with that. So first is the natural set. Think of this as if you're back in kindergarten and they ask you to start counting. Well, they start counting at 1, which is kind of a funny story because all my kids start at 0 because they know I'm a programmer and it drives their teachers crazy. But anyway, if they wanted to start at 0, that would be the mathematical symbol W, which is meant for whole numbers. And it's just like the natural, but it starts at 0. And then it increments 1 at a time. So notice it is integers in both of these. Now Z is very similar to all these, but we could have all integers. But I could break it down into Z, and then what is that, superscript of our plus to say, hey, it's positive integers only, and just the opposite with a Z and a negative mark for our superscript to count as our negative integers. Rational numbers is the next big thing here. Rational numbers, as you can tell, is going to be a little bit more complicated, but it can be written as a fraction, but both the numerator and the denominator have to be integers. Now, there's still some game rules on top of that, too. So A and B have to be an element within Z, so it has to be an integer number, and the denominator, B, cannot equal 0 because, as you know, well, that causes a hell of a lot of problems, put it that way. So that is our rational numbers. Next is our real numbers. For our real numbers, you're going to see kind of go from here and up. All of those items combined are our real numbers. So just a heads up so you can see the other mathematical notations that are right in that set of real numbers. Go figure. Finally is complex numbers. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't have any complex numbers that are in my notes for this. Try to keep things simple. You might see them later, but I still want to go over another set that's naturally out there. And in a complex number, you're going to have A as a real number, and then B contains an imaginary number I. So that's our last set of important sets. But even though, like I said, complex numbers, you probably won't see too much in this set of notes or in this chapter for sets, but the rest of it, you sure as heck will. Another important feature is to make sure that you know that this is going to show up in proofs if you haven't seen it already. So have this list somewhere and available just so you remember what this is all going to coordinate with.